Hello, I'm Kyle Keppen, Superintendent of Schools at Vinton-Shellsburg. I want to take a moment to give you an update on our facilities planning process. To date, we've been on a timeline of addressing facilities needs. Back in 2021, we conducted a facilities assessment. That assessment drove projects at the middle school, replacing our HVAC system, a solar array at the high school, supporting electrical needs, and a Tiny Vikes preschool addition, adding preschool and childcare to our school district. From there, we knew we needed more work done in our buildings. So we started looking back at that facilities assessment combined with staff listening sessions, along with community open houses and feedback sessions to create a list of needs at each building. Those needs were then prioritized and put into a community survey. A community survey was conducted because additional dollars would be needed to cover all of the costs of the projects. This survey identified the support for a bond and then specific to the questions around which project should be prioritized. There was 825 respondents. This was a 16% response rate, which would provide statistical significance for our data. During the planning process, we identified that 54% of the residents would support a yes vote. Only 18% no, but there was a large 28% that were not sure or undecided. In Iowa, 60% of a yes vote is required to pass a bond. When analyzing for specific questions around the plan at the moment, which was addressing a large portion of money towards Shellsburg Elementary, we identified that we would not be able to get to a yes vote. Outlining why we wouldn't be able to get to a yes vote is because there wasn't enough information around Shellsburg Elementary. A lot of folks didn't support the large amount of dollars that were going to be spent on Shellsburg, and so we need to go back to the drawing board and address what those initial facility needs are and how to best go about utilizing them. So at Shellsburg, the 104-year-old building has a lot of accessibility and climate control needs. There's a lot of spaces that don't meet size requirements, the electrical systems are not upgraded, and a lot of the finishings are poor. When you look at classroom equity and what a standard planning classroom size is of around 900 square feet, you can see that our current elementaries are a little under that size. And then specifically our kindergarten classrooms are drastically under that size, along with all the accessibility and mechanical needs that are at the building. When we look at the data in our district demographics, the dots of red and blue represent where our current students live. And the circles that are indicated on the map indicate where our schools are. So the lower right-hand corner would be Shellsburg, and the middle of the screen would be Vinton. Our district demographics, we typically have 5 sections of elementary at Tilford and 1 section of elementary grades at Shellsburg, except for a bubble class that is currently in 3rd grade. District funding is important to understand because these projects need to come out of capital funds or debt service funds. You can only spend debt service funds if you pass a bond for a specific reason. When we went to think about passing a bond, we were asking for about $19 million. The other $10 million would have came from those schoolhouse funds or SAVE or PEPAL monies for a total of $29 million spent. The vote of the people said they would support that as it would be tax neutral. You can see our current tax rate is right in the middle of many of our local school districts. Not too high, not too low, but fiscally responsible in the middle. Our next step is to really identify a consensus plan for our elementary systems and how to utilize Shellsburg or what to have there. Then, once consensus is met, is to present a plan to the school board, and the board would determine whether to call for an election in November 2025. If you have additional questions or thoughts, please feel free to reach out directly to me, Kyle Keppen. Thank you for listening.